number 2. I'm now just going to be talking to you about some random memories and musings I have from my childhood, and I'm going to link this to a blog post. I'll put a link to the blog down below because this is based on the blog I've written, although I've elaborated on a few points, but also in my blog I've included some things that I haven't talked about here as well, so they sort of complement each other. So do go and check out my blog as well if you'd like to read and find out a bit more. Now, my fondest childhood memories are of my annual summer holiday to Clifford Caravan site in Dartmoor National Park, Devon. My family took me there every summer for 2 to 3 weeks from the age of 2 to 9, so during my most formative years that's where we went every single summer, so my fondest memories are of that time and place. We got the train since my parents did not drive. At Exeter station we got a taxi to the Caravan park, situated deep in the countryside. I particularly loved the old tractor at the Caravan site. There were 2 old tractors held in place by cement, and kids enjoyed climbing over them and playing with the steering wheel. The tyres were warmed by the sun. I remember sort of putting my hands on the tyres, and you could feel they were sun-drenched. There was a clutch, and you could pretend that you were actually steering a wheeled tractor down dirt country tracks. Near the tractor there were swings. I loved going to the swings to try and make friends. I saw the holiday as a chance to make friends with the other holiday makers, something that I really struggled to do at school and home. So this was quite interesting because I really struggled to make friends at school, and I did not have my first peer friends, same age friends in my year group. I did not make that friend until I would have been about sort of 8, 9. Not properly until I was about 10. I mean, her brother was in my brother's year at school, and my mum sort of knew her mum, which obviously helped facilitate it. And she did come round to my house now and again, and I did go down to her house a few times ago. She mainly came round to my house now and again, but it was very much an off-on friendship, quite volatile. And at school I really did struggle in the friendship department, and more often than not, I was either on my own or playing with kids who were a lot younger than me, because I just really struggled to know how to interact. But when we were on holiday, it was a lot easier for me. I'm not entirely sure why this was, but maybe it's because you didn't have the sort of pressure you have at school. It wasn't a noisy playground. The kids were kind of more on their own. There wasn't like groups you had to try and infiltrate. They weren't all taken, as it were. And I could make kind of friendships that might just last, say, a day, an hour or 2, just in the park surrounding a caravan site. I used to talk to people on trains as well. I was quite an out there child, I didn't have any social anxiety or anything. I was really trying to interact, as best I could. I just didn't always do it very successfully. But yeah, I got really excited, at holidays, because I saw this as an opportunity to try and make friends. And at that age, I was really quite keen to do that. And so yeah, I was socially fearless. And I did sort of have a natural belief, I guess, at that time, in the sort of harmlessness of other people. I hadn't yet learned to distrust people. That came with age and experiences, obviously lots of bad experiences of people judging me and not being very nice, and then obviously as you grow, social interactions become even more difficult, more based on what I'm talking, not so much on play, so obviously it then becomes a lot harder. But back in those innocent days, I was a lot more carefree, and it just was, I struggled socially, but I wasn't so aware of the fact, and I just didn't have any inhibitions, and I was just more out there and free, basically. So yeah, I could be naturally and unashamedly myself. I mean, I didn't actually mask as a child. I didn't start masking, I don't think, until I was kind of certainly in secondary school, and even then it was kind of a bit ad hoc. I only really started masking towards the end of my teenage years when I became more aware. So again, I was a lot more carefree back then. I miss those days. One day, a little redhead girl sat on the swing next to mine. I was about 8 years old. She was probably about 4. She was a lot younger than me. But I kept asking her over and over, "What is your name? How old are you? Where do you live?" to no avail. She was a very shy little girl, and as I said, one thing I definitely was not as a child was shy. I could sometimes appear shy, but I wasn't shy. If I wanted to kind of talk to someone, I would persist. Until they responded, which is kind of a little bit ironic, because people often think, the autistic ones, second ones, are all kind of wrapped up in themselves. But here I was, really trying to get this girl to talk. She wouldn't talk. Eventually she did talk. And I remember I was really pleased when eventually she opened up and started talking, telling me where she lived, her age and everything. I was like, yes, I've made a friend. I've actually made a friend. It was really exciting. My persistence paid off, and I now had an instant playmate, and we found each other in the open swimming pool the next day. She even invited me into her tent, but that was just a kind of like, on a day, and obviously I never saw her again. But I was really excited at the time. I thought I'd made a friend, and I was really happy. Because that's something I couldn't do at school, so the fact I managed to do it on holiday was, I was just really excited and happy that I'd actually managed to do it. During holidays, I enjoyed collecting brochures from the information hub. I cut out pictures of girls. I had this thing about girls, almost got, just really interested, rather obsessed in watching them and stuff, Usually, funny enough, with long blonde hair. I'm not sure what that was all about, but I had this particular thing about girls with long blonde hair. Might be kind of wanting what you don't have. I was attracted to blonde-haired girls. I used to stick. See, what I used to do was I used to cut out pictures of girls from these like holiday brochures, and I used to then stick them to a bit of paper, and I used to write a diary about their life, focusing, of course, in particular on what they ate, because this was all a diary coming from my imagination. With an actual photograph of a girl, just this random girl from a brochure that I put on the top of a page, and I'd write all about her life and everything. I had a blonde-haired doll as well called Sarah, who had large, deep blue eyes. Sarah came everywhere with me, including on our walks. You could make her suck her thumb. I pretended that Sarah was a real individual with a whole backstory of likes and dislikes. I particularly liked dolls with deep blue eyes and blonde hair. Strangely, I loved doll eyes in a way that I never did with human eyes. I don't know what that's all about. I actually really liked doll eyes. Some people find them creepy, but I actually really liked them. I think because they're so deep blue. And I don't know, I had this thing about blue eyes. And it's weird because I didn't really look at people's eyes much. My eye contact wasn't always that great as a child. But when it came to doll eyes, I liked them. So I don't know what that's all about. On our walks, I talked to my dad about Sarah's life. As I said, I had a whole backstory about her life. Every morning we went swimming in the open air pool. Now I've never learned how to swim unaided, so I never grew out of needing to use armbands. And I haven't gone swimming as an adult. It's not really something that interests me. And I did struggle with swimming as a kid. When we went with the school, I think again because it's an indoor swimming pool, noisy, lots of kids, lots of splashing, and I never progressed out of the shallow end. But when we were on holiday, I had armbands that my dad blew up for me, and then I could go in the deep end with the armbands on. And my dad fitted them to my arms inside the caravan. I then tiptoed across the grass and pebbly track, and up the steps and down the concrete walkway round the pool. If you see my blog post, I put a picture up at the top of me in the swimming pool there. Once in the pool, I swam to the deep end, climbed out and ran back to the shallow end, got in again and swam back over and over and over again. That was a great thing, I really enjoyed that. One year, however, for some bizarre reason, I developed a fear of swimming in a pool, because we hadn't done it for a year. A whole year had gone past and I suddenly just randomly developed a phobia of going in a pool, which I didn't have before. And my mum had to hold my hands and tow me around the shallow end. I was wearing armbands, but I was scared for some reason of the pool. And she was frustrated because I used to love swimming around the pool. I did manage to overcome this fear eventually, though, it has to be said. I remember with particular affection the time my mum bought garlic sausages at a specialist butcher in nearby Moreton Hampstead, a small town. As we walked over the moors, over cattle grids, I used to love cattle grids, past cows, heather and bracken. We used to go on these really long walks when I was a kid. My parents being keen walkers, I must have walked absolutely miles on my tiny legs, far more than most kids would ever walk, because my parents were just like literally keen walkers. So I grew up basically going really long, epic walks. We're talking miles and miles and miles as a kid. So that might be partly, I don't know whether, well, it might be is a good thing maybe, because as an adult I can still often walk further than many people can, so it might be quite a good thing. I developed some resilience there. And also a good thing because I was a very energetic kid, so at least I burned off some of that energy in those long walks, which is probably a good thing as well. Anyway, so long walks. As we walked back over the moors, I could smell the garlic drifting out of my mum's backpack all the way back to the caravan. And as you can imagine, for a foodie, lifelong obsession. I say obsession in a good way, better comments, with food. That was really exciting. We eventually descended towards the caravan site. I could see the blue of the swimming pool through the dark green trees. I always got really excited when I saw the blue of the swimming pool because it meant we were nearly back. It was playtime. And this was so exciting as I could play on the swings attractor while my mum prepared dinner. On the last day, I made up a leaving song to the tune of a school hymn, because I am the Lord of the Dance, said he. That kind of hymn that's often sung in schools. But anyway, I made up a leaving song. Da, 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 da. And I can't actually remember the words I put to the song, but I made up this leaving song. And I remember I sang the song loudly as we went for a brief lark's walk through the woods before a taxi came to take us back to Exeter's train station for our next holiday, an extension of a holiday to Stratford-upon-Avon, which I might talk about in another video, because we had these really long epic holidays when I was a kid. They were great. I spent practically a whole 6 weeks away and just outside. Yeah, that's why I have such good memories of those times. Do please read my blog. I've linked it below if you'd like to go and find out more about that and to see the picture as well at the top. Okay, so I'm going to finish now. I haven't decided what I'm going to talk about next week. I might share with you a recipe that I made, because I made a lovely peach and raspberry cake the other day, so I'll try and guide you through the recipe of that, if not next week, a following week. And if do remind me if I forget, but I would like to guide you through that recipe at some point. But anyway, I hope you have a good week. Do be careful with this hot sun. I absolutely hate this heat. It's so unbearably unpleasant. It's absolutely like a heat wave today. It's meant to get a bit cooler over the weekend, right? Have a good week, and I look forward to speaking to you again next Wednesday. So I'll speak to you then. Thanks for watching.